Hello and welcome everyone. It's been quite a while since I've recorded a video. I will quickly touch on that because for the reason why that's been such a long time. First of all, I actually commentated Eternal Weekend. Thank you so much for everyone who reached out to me. I got a lot of people telling me that they think I did a very good job, so it was really lovely. I'm very happy I was able to do that for you all. So thanks for the messages. Now, of course, I needed to talk about both Vintage and Legacy. I was very comfortable with Legacy, but I did not have a lot of experience in Vintage, so I've actually been preparing a lot for that tournament. Been watching a lot of Vintage content, watching a lot of Vintage streams. Now, I do want to say that I loved Vintage, and I even played it on Thursday. That was my only day that I could play Vintage. I went 5-1 as a personal record, so I'm actually slowly buying into Vintage on Magic Online because I've been having a blast, and I will be playing that format again in the future. Second, I also had to undergo surgery. I've actually been recovering for about a month now, so don't worry, I'm good. It was a planned surgery. It was a bit of a, it was impactful, but I'm good. We are getting through that, and everything will be fine. But I've just not been able to, like, for about a month, I was not able to do anything. So now I'm better. I'm still at home for another week. But I'm feeling good, so it's time to start recording again. That was a quick update. Now let's dive into this list that I have here for you. Now, what else could I start out with after the bans, then playing Infect again? And I wanted to go to my standard list of Infect, but then I've actually tried pushing, like, you know, the card. I'm definitely sure you know everyone knows this one here. I've been pushing or making Tamiyo work in Infect, and it's been better than I anticipated, honestly. I've played a couple of leagues with this build already, and we have a Blue Days deck. We can protect her fairly well. Now, sometimes people can beat it down, but we actually have the possibility of using the green mana here, especially in the combination of Berserk. I've actually had some really cool plays on Noble Hierarch where I'm able to invigorate Berserk, bring back the Berserk with Tamiyo, get a green mana, and then just use it again. That means I'm able to invigorate and double Berserk for basically one green mana. I've done some silly things in the combination of Tamiyo in this deck, so I'm not sure if I'm there yet, but I do think there's something here. You know me, I like just, putting the good cards in Infect. That's something that I like doing. I think that's what we should be trying to do. This is what I came up with. I just popped the changes to the right. So I'm only playing 2 Ponders and 2 Legolas, quick reflexes. I mean, you need to find rooms somewhere. I didn't want to cut any of the threats, and I feel like Ponder, it's not that, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good card, but if I want to have Ponder or Tamiyo turn 1, I think that's fine. And I'm playing 2 Legolases mainly because it's good against the aggro matchups, but very bad against pretty much all combo decks, so I'm fine going to 2. You can see I'm playing 2 Legolases, quick reflexes in the sideboard, so you can just play them. Sideboarding, the meta is definitely adjusting, so this sideboarding is not definitive. I'm still trying stuff out. But I am happy with how it's currently going. You can see I'm having 2 Consigned Memories. Now, normally all those colorless-based decks are pretty good matchups, but you still want to have some Consigns because sometimes they can do silly things. 1 Spell Pierce, 2 Legolases, 3 Veiler Summers. I've gone up to 4 already. We saw after Eternal Weekend, Blue-Black is definitely the default aggro deck, so I've increased the Veiler Summer count, and the rest is pretty stock. Civil Library, Endurance, Force of Vigors, all relatively easy. And that's it. Let's see what we can do with this Tamiyo, shall we? Right, we're off to the races here. Let's see, I'm on the play. This hand's pretty good. So I think the only way I can lose this game is if I actually get a Tropical Island and get Wastelander, so I'm going to keep. And this is why I love playing blue-green, because I'm actually able to just fetch up that forest. And if we draw a land here, we just win. Well, depends on what my opponent is playing, of course. But I'm just going to start out with this Glistener Elf turn 1. I mean, a land, Noble, and then Big Invigorate is 10, so I just want to fire him off like this. And I'm just hoping that my opponent has like a heavy Wasteland hand, and see where we go from there. Underground Scene into Thoughtseize. I think that's Thoughtseize okay. I don't want to force the will this one, because imagine if they daze, that would be backbreaking. So I just want to say fine. I imagine they take a Pump Spell. They could also take a Noble maybe. I think that depending on their hand, that could be nice. I could see them Blighted Agents, like if they have like a very removal heavy hand, they could take Blighted Agents. So my guess right now is, with the uprise of blue-black tempo, that's, when I see Underground Sea, that's what I'm thinking towards. Ever since Eternal Weekend happened, we are seeing a shift where the conversion rate of blue-red aggro compared to blue-black was just another league. Blue-black just completely knocked out blue-red out of the park. Okay, so they do take Invigorate. Good for me to know, so I'm just going to fire off. This is pretty good. Let's fire off this Noble. We're looking for a Tropical Island now. Let's see if they daze. They do daze, that's really not that big of a deal. I mean, I'd rather not have them daze, but if I had an opening hand with daze, I definitely would have just fetched up Tropical. They do daze. I could also force, maybe. I could force and pitch the daze. Actually, I don't hate that. I'm talking myself into this. Yeah, let's do that. Since this daze is just worthless, unless I top deck exactly a Tropical, I think this is the better play. Let's slam in, because maybe my opponent does not have a removal spell, and if they do, I can follow this up with a Blooded Agent. Yeah, this is definitely better. So they Thoughtseize again, pretty good hand for my opponent, double Thoughtseize. See, this is why blue-black is scary for us. It's definitely much more difficult than blue-red is, that's just always true. Now, it's not the end of the world. We can still just slam in here, play these threats, especially since I've drawn another agent. I'm not unhappy about that. They don't play board wipes, right? So they will need to be trading 1 for 1, which is okay. Any pump spell that I draw now is lethal too, so I'm not unhappy. They will probably have Bowmasters here, they always do. Yes, indeed. Called it. Let's just yield through the turn. There we go. I'm even just going to play it first. Tamiyo. She is an alternative win con, so I'm just going to slam in here with Glistener Elf. And this is another reason why I actually like playing Tamiyo right now in our deck. Because it's an alternative win con, right? And usually these blue-black decks, the entire deck just plays everything that we hate. Which is why I just think that Tamiyo is worth it right now, because they also need to kill that. It's too strong to let it live. And I just will draw cards with this Tamiyo. So I'm just gonna put the pressure on to see what they have. Like, double Thoughtseize and Orcish Bowmaster is pretty perfect against us. So we will see what the follow-up is. They draw with a Ponder and Thoughtseize. Third Thoughtseize, sure. Stormchase's talent is really okay. Maybe I should pop this on screen because it's relatively new. So it enters, you create an Otter. When it goes level 2, return instant or sorcery from the graveyard to the hand. So my guess is that they will probably take, you know, some kind of a like Thoughtseize. Is there anything else they would want? Maybe Ponder. And now if I attack with this Glistener Elf, they can actually block with the Otter and the Orc army. So I'm just going to slam in here. Really funny is here that we actually deal damage with Tamiyo, since we have Noble Hierarch. So I'm just going to slam in. And in their end step, I will just start drawing cards. Yes, I know they will ping... Well, they could ping Noble too. But we shall see about that. And you can see this is exactly why I'm actually playing Triple Veiler Summers. Because it's just, you know, this deck... The fact that it plays Bowmasters, that it pings for 1/1 is just a nuisance. So I think this is game. 2 Bowmasters will be too much. Especially after Triple Thoughtseize. Not much you can do about that. But I'm going to try. So I'm going to block the Bowmasters. Or maybe I should actually block the Orc army. That's better. And then draw. Let's see what we get. We do get a pump spell. That's nice. And I guess that they just fire off it on Noble and onto me. No, they... Yeah, that makes sense. They just kill Noble with the Orc army. Sure, makes sense. Inkmoth Nexus. Nice. So we're actually able to win here, potentially. Because what's going to happen... I just need to draw a land. And... Let's see. What are we going to do? So what I could do is I could actually not attack with Tamiyo. I could kill a Bowmasters with the Embiggen and Tamiyo, and then or I could also kill the Orc army. Or I could just slam in, get a clue, and if turn draw, I will take 7 damage, go to 7, take 2 from the other, draw, and then if I draw land I can win. I think that's the best thing to do, so I'm just gonna slam in. Now, of course, we've not set a Wasteland yet. So we shall see if they have that. Start the turn with a Brainstorm, sure. And they found the Wasteland. That will be good game. So I think you saw just how bad this matchup was, right? Which is why I've created the sideboard in such a way that you can see I'm just shifting towards a different game plan. I will bring in the Legolases, the Veils, and also these Endurances. I'm cutting all the forces, I don't want that. And I'm even going to trim down on Pump Spells and Glistener Elves because they are so bad in this matchup. You can see I'm cutting 1 and big and 2. Berserk is a removal spell, right? So I will be keeping in the Berserks. Or maybe just 1, that's also fine. Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. Playing like this, one Berserk, one Embiggen. You can see I'm heavily leaning more towards protection and endurances as well, because my opponent will bring in more removal spells, so I want to make them as bad as possible. And that's really it. I've been testing about keeping the Berserks, cutting 2 Embiggens. It's been working out great too. Maybe I should, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that, just for another thing that I've been testing recently. Berserk is my removal spell in a certain way, and if you are able to do that, we're pretty well set up to deal with whatever they're going to try and do. Tamiyo is just going to do some heavy lifting. It's much better than Glycerol in this matchup specifically. Again, Bowmasters is a nuisance, but we were able to get rid of this. We have 4 Legolas's and 2 Berserks now, so this is fine. I'm going to keep. It's not bad. It's not great either, but I mean, I have Legolas's for protection and removal spells, I have Daisies, I have Berserk, so 1 Invigorate here, and we actually have a very, very clean kill when we want to go for it. So I'm not unhappy. Keep in mind, I shifted more towards a slower build, more a control-y build after sideboarding, so another reason to keep this here. Because what my opponent will do is they will keep a very removal-heavy hand. If the meta does stay like this and blue-black is everywhere, I will probably go back up to 4 Legolas Quick Reflexes in the main, and probably just cut all Ponders and just keep 4 Tamiyos. So end of turn Hedge Maze, we get a Blooded Agent, that is a keep. Do I want to play it down immediately? I don't think so. Since I don't have a fast kill, I'm just going to play the Inkmoth next and pass. Kind of hoping that my opponent tries to go for Wasteland next turn, so I can just say nope. There we go, called it. I'm just going to do this. Save it with the Legolas. Nice and easy. My opponent fetches for a C. Let's pass. I will just play Blood Agent next turn. This is a good exchange. You know, them Wastelanding and I'm just saying nah. Another Legolas. Yep, perfect. Legolas is just... I've said this a million times already, but this is just such a good card. It's perfect for what we are wanting to do with our deck. Let's play Blood Agent. Let's see what they do. Worst part here is that, or worst thing that could happen is they force, and then they have another Wasteland. I can't play around that. That's just perfect. Well, I'm afraid now. Let's see if they have the Wasteland. If so, I mean, yeah, so be it. Again, I can't play around that. I don't want to double days here. No Wasteland, nice. Brainstorm is fine. Now the best choice, actually, Endurance or Tamiyo. So, no Infect Reaches. Because what's going to happen is this is a removal spell, this is also a removal spell, and I have double days, so I want to go for the Tamiyo plan. No Tamiyo, we find Ponder, maybe we can find it that way. Or just a pump spell to kill them next turn. We do find Tamiyo, but if I play it, I have to fetch this Embiggen away. I have a lot of options here. So here's what I'm thinking. I could next turn play Agent or Tamiyo. If I play Agent, I do have Legolas to protect it. And I have Embiggen, Berserk, and Double Days, so that's probably the best route. And if that fails, I can then play Tamiyo. So I think I'm going to play it like that. Imagine my opponent has Thoughtseize. What do I want them to not take? That's probably Blighted Agents. So I'm actually going to put them like this. There we go. If my opponent does Wasteland me now next turn, it's not the end of the world. I'm just going to let it happen. And then I do have Blooded Agent with Double Days backup. And I still have Lethal to turn afterwards. We shall see. Wasteland would be the card I'm most afraid of right now. Not a Wasteland, that's good. So then I go for a Barrow-Goyf. Card I'm not very afraid of. I might even just not Daze. Gurmag Angler! What year is this? I was not expecting Gurmag. I'm just going to let that one resolve because I can race that. That's Gurmag Angler, crying out loud. Yeah, okay, that happened. So let's play Blooded Agent and pass the turn. Resolves. Okay, that's a good sign. If we do untap here, I will fetch away this Tamiyo. I just want to find another land. So I have Embiggen, Berserk, and Legolas mana up. Or I just want to find another pump spell, really. That's also fine. Bowmasters it is. So I'm going to Legolas here. There we go. So that will work. Let's see what the follow-up is for my opponent. And I am just going to go for it. I mean, opponent has 2 cards in hand. The game's not getting any better for me at this point. Land. That's good. So let's Embiggen. That resolves. Good. Let's Berserk. See what's up. And if they have Fatal Push, at least I can double daze. So they need Force. Otherwise, we're good. We win. Nice. Okay, so that was well set up. As you can see, we can shift towards how we need to play. And it's very important to analyze which threats you need to fight over, because we knew that we were going to race this Gurmag. It's too slow against us. So yeah, good stuff. Anything I want to change on the draw? I don't think so, really. I could see myself playing a Silver Library. Keep in mind, Silver Library is a May ability. So I may just do that, because Glistenrod is so bad in this matchup. Play one. I don't think I want to have both. And submit. It was really cool that we can win game 2. As I said, this matchup is not unwinnable at all, but Thoughts is a mess. It's difficult for us, but I mean, triple Veil of Summer, that's what you want to be doing. Veil of Summer is also really good, because what I love about the card is that you can just start out your turn with Veil of Summer and just completely annihilate the opponent. That's always lovely. I really want to draw a simple fetch land here, because then what I can do is play the land and pass the turn, do nothing, because I want to play the Veil of Summer when they have Thoughtseize. If I play Noble here and they can Thoughtseize me, I don't do a whole lot, but Tamiyo, Nobles, Veil of Summer, Silver Libraries, this hand's pretty perfect. I just miss lands. One land draw here, and I think we are well set up. That's good. Now it is susceptible to Wasteland, so I'm gonna play this. And now, what do I want to do? So, do I want to play Noble? Or do I want to just keep the Veil of Summer open? I think if they had the possibility of going turn 1 Thoughtseize, they would have done so. So I'm just gonna play down this Noble. And they daze. That is not that bad. I'm okay with that. So my guess is that they now follow this up with a Wasteland. Typical play, yes indeed. So that's okay. So again, I want to draw land. I'm going to play down this Tamiyo here. Okay, not bad. Let's just play this. And now, if they don't have another Wasteland, we can Inkmoth Nexus into Silver Library, and then we are golden. Because the thing that we can do is, even if they have Bowmasters, you can Veil of Summer, then that means that you can actually draw the cards, and then the things here from the Bowmasters will fizzle. This Thoughtseize is not that impactful. They will take Silver Library, I think, and I can just do nothing anymore this entire game and just cash in these Veil of Summers. That would be really good. So this Thoughtseize, not that problematic. Another Noble here is really good. I am just going to play it. I need to. They know about these Veil of Summer, so they can play around it. And this means that I can actually draw a card and have Veil of Summer up. So I guess Bowmasters is now a bit of an issue, but if they don't have that, I'm not very afraid of anything, really. Ponder, that's a good sign. And you can see that my game plan is really paying off. I'm shifting towards not caring anymore about what they want to do against us usually, which is kill our threats and then win the game from there. This is not what we are doing, especially with the Tamiyo. We will be heavily favored, and they are probably digging for some way to get rid of Tamiyo right now. Because if I draw a land, I can actually flip Tamiyo next turn, and then with these triple Veil of Summers, we are we're riding good. It would be really cool if we win this one here, purely based off the back of Tamiyo. Gurmag, that's not that big of a deal. We can race that. Good stuff. Another Tamiyo is not what I'm looking for. Do I want to attack with Inkmoth Nexus here? Don't think so. Right. Yeah, I'm just going to slam in here with Tamiyo. I will draw immediately. Ponder is a good one. Ooh, what if they have days? I'm just going to do it. I need to find lands. I need to develop. Huh, no lands. Days is okay, but Endurance not so much against Gurmag. Although they are pretty low on life total though. So if I days now, next turn I can actually just slam in. Play the Endurance. Yeah, I think I'm going to shuffle. Okay, we did draw land. It's something. So I'm going to plus this one. And now they will definitely attack the Tamiyo. Buys me some time. Nice. And then I will follow up with just another one. I need to buy myself some time. I need to find pump spells. These Veil of Summers are going to be really good here. Or just a Legolas. That could also be very good. They will attack the Tamiyo indeed. Thank you very much for your service. This is funny. So they play this one here. Boomerang basics on one on Noble. I do not understand that. That's, yeah, I don't know, it feels like a weird play to me. But okay, I'm just going to play it again. We did finally find our land, so let's just slam in. Next turn, I'm probably just going to play Tamiyo and then just slam in. And again, I want to have Veil of Summer up every single time. And if we find one pump spell, I think we just win very easily. Because I can start the turn with Veil of Summer, it's so powerful. Wasteland, sure, that's not a problem. I'm actually not going to fetch here because I want to draw another land. Nice. So I guess we just slam in. Deal 2, play another Tamiyo. They ponder. So I will definitely cash in one Veil of Summer. I might even just do this now. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this now because depending on what I draw, I actually want to do this before they ponder. So let's cash in that Veil of Summer. And we do find the Legolas. That's a good one. Okay. So let us just see what's up. And I think I'm next time just going to cash in another one. Maybe I should just hedge maze. And now what I can do is if I want to, I could kill the Otter token with my attacking of Inkmoth next. And then I can just block this Gurmag for a couple of turns. It's not bad. Not bad. So do I want to block with Tamiyo? Don't think so. I'm going to chill. Okay, no follow-up. Let's hedge maze. See if we can find a Pum spell here. If we do, we win. Blighted Agents. I mean, it's not bad. It blocks the Gurmag. So I play it, slam in, still have all this mana up. Then again, yeah, I think I just want to find a Pum spell. Let's just get rid of it. Good part about having played Veil of Summer is that I don't need to worry about Fatal Push. There we go. That's what the doctor ordered. So now I'm going to show you the really cool thing that you can do with this deck, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Veil of Summer first. And if this works, I have currently protection against your entire deck. So what's my opponent going to do? They have to respond, right? But they have no good responses. There's nothing that's good for them that they can do here. So I love that. And even if they do have a response, I'm going to Veil of Summer again. So this is perfect. Winning the game like this, I really love this. Again, you can see why I'm very high on these Veil of Summers. Okay, so let's see what my opponent decides to do. So they actually daze. Sure. Do I care? I can do a really cool play here to really mess with them. I'm going to do this. Okay, so this is going to be cool. I could just Veil of Summer again. But what I want to do is I want to make it seem like I am screwed. So I'm going to actually tap Inkmoth Nexus and pay for the days that way. This signals to my opponent that I don't have anything going on. And I just want to cycle in this Veil of Summer, so I'm going to say yes. And this is like the perfect ultimate bait, because we are going to see them respond here. They're going to daze again. Response. So do I care about this one? They now have one card in hand that can potentially deal with this. So I can cash in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Veil of Summer. I can still animate the Nexus, Invigorate, and have Legolas. So I can actually safely pay for this. So I'm going to just play this other Veil of Summer now. And now this all happens. Cool. I'm not going to pay. There we go. This will flip. Nice. Best thing to do is to go to combat here, but there is nothing that they can do. So I'm just not afraid anymore. Again, even if they have a removal spell, it doesn't matter because, see, they just concede. It doesn't matter because I've cast Veil of Summer first, so they could maybe target the Noble Harag, but that doesn't change anything. We just completely outplay them here. And you can see the power level of Veil of Summer, so wow, what a game. Very cool, very cool start to start out with this. And Tamiyo was very impactful in this game too, because she did a whole lot, even though maybe at worst she takes removal spells, right? So yeah, cool, let's dive into game 2. So we're on the play, and this hand is great, but unfortunately no land. That's a mulligan. This is a keep. I mean, I have Tamiyo flipping, and here's what I'm going to do, and this is really cool. I want to have my first game plan to be Infect, so I'm just going to use this Glistener Elf here, and then I imagine that my opponent's going to use a removal spell on it, and then I can just follow this up with Tamiyo into Brainstorm and like win from there. Tamiyo is an alternative win con. We've seen this in a million decks already, so no surprises there. If we're playing against a control deck, swords. Okay. So they actually have a way to get rid of Tamiyo in the form of Prismatic Ending. So against this deck specifically, I think what I want to do is not flip Tamiyo immediately, but I just want to draw cards every single turn. Guide of Souls. Okay. So I guess I was wrong. It's not Azorius Control. It is the aggro deck. Glistener Elf not very good against them, so I'm happy that I've gotten rid of that. Let's do this. Now I will just flip Tamiyo immediately because it's very good against them. Blighted Agents. Okay. Change of plans. Or I could also Brainstorm and then just Blighted Agents. But what if I don't draw land? I'm going to feel awful. Then again, it shuts down the entire deck. So maybe this is fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, it's worth the risk. Okay. Okay, but we do get another Tamiyo, so it's not that bad. Let's just do this, play that, play another one. And we do have a lot of pump spells coming, so it's not the end of the world. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to kill this Guide of Souls. Or I'm just going to block the creature that they make bigger. And you will see the power level of Tamiyo in this deck specifically. Let's see where they put the counter. Okay, that's what I was hoping for. They put this on Guide of Souls, so I'm going to block. And I am going to Invigorate. And if they do have swords now and they use it, that's still fine, because that means Blighted Agent does not take the swords. So I'm A-okay with this. Nice. So you can get those, sure, does not matter at all. I'm going to play Agents, tick up the Tamiyo, and pass. They put Wasteland into the graveyard, that does make sense. Let's just yield through the turn, win some time, and see what they have remaining. How many swords do they have? They already had 2, so the chances of them having another one are very unlikely. They play a lot of threats, so Mockingbird, okay. Gonna slam in with everything. I imagine put some counters on the other Guide of Souls. And they need to attack Tamiyo. This is really funny. See, this is what I mean. With, even though Tamiyo, it might seem like she's not doing a whole lot. Yes, she is. She is buying me so much time because I don't actually need it, right? I'm just gonna win in one small swoop. So this is fine by me. Now the question is, do I want to go for it now, to Embiggens, or play the other agents? I don't know. Does it matter? It's not like I'm going to have that much turns anyway. Definitely going to plus. Let's not forget about that. Yeah, they might have Wasteland, so I think I'm just going to fire off these Embiggens right now. And now the question is, do they top deck Swords to Plowshares or not? And what's really nice here is that we don't care about this life gain at all. So you can have as much cats as you want. You're going to be dealing damage with all these 0/1s. And now the question is, like, did they find another removal spell, or are we just going to crush them? And yeah. If we win here, this is just purely based off of, they find Teferi. Okay, so unlucky for us here. They had a very good follow-up turns. But again, Tamiyo was amazing. And our draws were not that great, really. We you know, not the best. Any days here, any falls, and we would have been golden. But I don't think we're going to survive for that long anymore. Can we survive a turn of these attacks? I don't think so, right? Let's quickly count. No, they will get so many tokens more. We are going to concede. Let's do one draw step here. But they top decked the Fairy, and that's why they win. But again, no. I'm so happy with this Tamiyo. She just completely took over this game. Okay, so relatively easy sideboarding. Legolas is going to be an all-star here. We don't have that much time, so there's not much that I really want to do. On the play, I want to trim some number of forces. And that's pretty much it. Just cut forces for Legolas' reflexes. Library is too slow. I don't want anything else, really. Spell Pierce, I mean, maybe, but I don't want to have that against these creatures, so I think this is going to be it. If we do go into game 3, Glistening Off on the draw is much worse, so I'm going to change after that. Let's submit for now. The Azorius aggro deck definitely not as scary as the Boros one is, because they have Goblin Bombardment, and that's the card I'm really afraid of. I would like played first. Thank you very much. This hand is really bad. Let's mulligan. This hand's good. Let's keep. Really hope to find some pump spells here, but apart from that, we are in good shape. So now, if they have Wasteland, that sucks. But I'm not going to be able to not do this. I already mulliganed, so be it. Polluted Delta it is. They will swords. As expected. Let's follow that up with a noble. They daze. That was unexpected. So it looks like there's a bit of a brew going on here. Not much I can do about it, though. Let's just play noble. And pass the turn. Let's just yield, see what's up. Mockingbird to get noble. Do I want to kill this noble? I mean, I think I'm just gonna, because what else am I gonna do with my time? Remember, what you click first happens last. That's something to be wary of Magic Online, because we do have this Exalted trigger, so don't mess this up. The only reason for doing this is that I don't have a lot going on. Their opening hand lined up perfectly against ours, so we're in trouble. Caracas, okay. I'm still just going to play Tamiyo, though, if if I find it. Brainstorm, okay. Let's see if we can find some good cards here. I don't want to have these two, so need to find threats. Huh, not ideal. I'm gonna put them like this. I'm just gonna play Tamiyo. Pretty bad Brainstorm. I think we're gonna lose this one, if I'm being honest. My draws did not line up very well. And I was really feeling relatively safe with that turn 1 Glistener Elf. Now luckily for us, let's daze that. The way the game is playing out currently, they need to use that Caracas. So it's like a semi-wasteland. Let's Hedge Maze, see what's on top. Land. I knew about that. We put that on top. Let's just play the Tamiyo. Oh, I should have played with land and attacked. Small mistake by me. It's just 1 damage though, but still. Would have been better. Ponder short. They do nothing. This is interesting because if I attack now and they Caracas and I had Brainstorm, wouldn't do anything. So my guess is that they drew a Swords, or they have another one left. Otherwise, why would they even let me draw a card? Interesting, interesting. We did find Inkmoth Nexus, really good for us. Okay, I'm just going to chill. I'm not going to draw a card now. They bounce. In response, I'm just going to draw. See what's up. They might Swords here. But if they do that, still okay. No, they do not. Interesting. Why would they let me draw a card here? I may just keep this Tamiyo to keep Force Will up. I guess they just let me draw a card because they were afraid of Brainstorm. That does make sense. Voice of Victory during your turn. I'm going to let that one resolve because if I draw a Pump Speller here, we just win. It's during their turn, not mine. Okay, and I think Mob Nexus is not bad. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to fire off this Embiggen. Because on Inkmoth Nexus it is 5, so I'm going to slam in for 7 Infect. And I do have Force Will up now with this blue card. So I'm not unhappy about this. And if this works, I have 3 Infect creatures left. So I think we are back in the game. Everything is going currently as expected. Let's see if they have Force. They do. Wow, okay, so they just had everything. In that case, not much you can do. So I'm just going to slam in. I'm going to play this Glistener Elf and pass through the turn. They Brainstorm and play Guide of Souls. Sure. Legolas. I'm just going to use that. And let's think. Doesn't really matter what I attack with. I'm just going to Legolas on Glistener Elf. Well, actually, it's a little bit better for me to just slam in here with Inkmoth Nexus. Because maybe they will use a removal spell here, and that would be full value. No, I'm trying to set them up to make a mistake. And in their mind, this might just not be a mistake because I have 1 card in hand, right? So this makes sense. So using the Swords now means I gain 1 life less, so I can see it. Now the question is, do I even want to use this Legolas? I'm thinking I'm just going to actually keep this. In case I find another pump spell, we can still win. Just want to get full value. They ponder. Draw the card. Brainstorm. They're digging for removal. That's what it seems to me. There we go. That's a good one. So I may have to use this Legolas to prevent this from getting out of hand. But then again, I think I just need to draw a pump spell and win from there. Still feels like any pump spell is just game. They did find a wasteland, so they get a million cats. Get the wasteland going here. Let's just yield to this. That's not a pump spell. Okay, so how can I possibly win here? Next turn I'm taking a huge swing. They will be attacking with 13 damage in total. 2 of which are flying. So I think if I want to have a shot at this, I need a lot of things to go right. I need them to fire off this wasteland. I need them to use it straight away. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bait out the wasteland here. So I'm going to use this. I imagine they wasteland in response. That's what I'm looking towards anyway. This is why I'm not using the ability to tap itself. And they should do it now. There we go. So that's what I was hoping towards. Okay, so that's step 1 of the plan. That worked out. Okay, so now I'm going to Legolas. This means that I have the option of killing one of these creatures. Unfortunately, I can't kill these 2, so the only thing I can really kill is that one, the Ocelot Pride. There we go, that's gone. And now they will be attacking with exactly 12 damage, which means I need to block with Noble and Glycerol, go to 1, and then top deck exactly Embiggen, and that's how we win. Easy. Easy. Yeah, let's see if we are able to pull that one off. They play another Guide of Souls, sure. I've already found one Embiggen though. We do have some cantrips. We may get there. Oh right. Since they had exactly another Guide of Souls, that means they can actually trigger the ability twice, and that means they can put 2 counters on. So I think this means we are dead. Because with 1 Guide of Souls, it would have been exactly 12, but now it's too much. I can't block these flyers, so I think we're dead. Yep, unfortunate. My draws didn't line up very well, but I mean, I was still able to, in game 1, show you how powerful Tamiyo was there. So, not much to be said here. And game number 2, well, again, they had pretty much everything that they needed. Well. If playing against a fair deck, this is fine. I'm going to play it, and I'm just going to keep. I think I'm actually going to start out. This is one of those hands where, again, we just lose if we get Wasteland. So I'm going to start with a Forest, playing Glycerol, and then just play threat after threat each turn. That's the idea. Flooded Strand C. Yep, looks like we are playing against blue-black aggro again. They Thoughtseize me here. That's hilarious because it's not that great. Push. So let us play Nobles here. So many Nobles. We could see a Daze. I wouldn't be unhappy about that. Nope. Brainstorm. What are they looking for? My guess is at this point they really want to Thoughtseize, see what's in my hand. But again, if they Thoughtseize me, I'm okay with it. This hand is very good against Thoughtseize, because I don't really care what you pick, really. There we go, called it. I'm curious. My guess would be Blighted Agent, I guess. Called it again. So let's play Glycerol. I played Event Catacombs. Let's also play a Noble. Not do anything else because I want to hedge Maze. These Nobles are also going to be a real threat soon because I'm attacking with 3/4s. They know my hand, so I'm just going to yield through the turn. Show and Tell. That was not on my radar. Let's just play a Blood Agent here. See what they have. It's Omniscience. Unfortunately, Atraxa. Good game. So I was very caught off guard here, and the main reason for this is that usually the Show and Tell version does not play Fatal Push in the main because it's pretty bad with their game plan. So that was not on my radar. So what we want to do against them is that, of course, we really want to play against this deck as a combo deck. Sure, it has the Thoughtseize, the Fatal Pushes. They could go like, my guess is that they bring in Bowmaster from the sideboard. But then against us, I don't think they want to bring in stuff like Barrogoyfs or Murktides or Voidwalkers. I think that would be the wrong choice for them. So we're going to consider this to be a combo deck indeed. We're going to take out all my slow stuff. What that means is they will also have some number of Fatal Pushes in the sideboard, would be my guess, but I'm going to lean heavily on these Velar Summers, so I will take out the Legolas Quick Reflexes, and I will take out some number of these Inkmoth and Nexai, and that's usually what I do against combo decks, and I am going to treat this one like it is a combo deck, and that's it. Again, Vader Summer is going to carry me hard in this matchup, as we've seen. Right now, the top of the meta is all blue-black, so as I said, I could see myself cutting the Spell Pierce to go to the 4th Velar Summer. I think it's very much worth it right now. This is going to be a keep, and I'm actually going to start out with Tamiyo and see if we can flip it and win the game that way, because this deck does have issues with a flip Tamiyo. Usually, these lists do not play Wasteland, but who knows? People can do whatever they want. They will not expect this one, though, that's for sure. Let's slam in. I do have Invigorate and Embiggen, that's really good. So let's slam in, draw a card, I will Brainstorm. Let's see what the follow-up is. Daze. Do I care? Let's think. I think I'm going to say fine. I think I need to. Another interesting situation here, because I actually did not play around Daze because they usually don't play that. Now, being able to Daze this Brainstorm is not... yeah, I'm not unhappy about that. They need to do this now, because if I go to end step, that means the blue mana's gone, so we are able to Noble here, and now we can start drawing cards with these clue tokens, and we already have Blooded Agent and Lethal, so I'm probably just going to go for that first, and see if that works. So they just play the land, I'm going to slam in, then I'm going to play Blooded Agents. I could Ponder, though, maybe that's better. What if they have Daze? Do I care? Nah, let's just play Blood Agent. Let's just try and win the game. See what's up. Doesn't look like they have days, but they might have show and tell, but there's not much I can do about it. And if they do have show and tell, it's all going to be about do they have omniscience. But stock up is excellent for us. Let's yield. And now let's try and kill him. And as you can see, this is what I've been talking about before. Tamiyo has, even though it may seem like she might not do anything, she has completely made it so that my opponent had to use all their resources just to stop Tamiyo from flipping, which is why she's so impactful. It's like a sub-game in here. Do I want to ponder first? What if I find days? Yeah, let's ponder first. Force. I don't think I want to have any of these. I'm going to put them like this. Because if I do fail here, I want to be able to cast Sylvan Library. Which is something that I'm not going to be able to do right now. So I do keep Embiggen on top because I may want that if they are able to counter this one. That we just win. Nice. Nice and easy. So again, yeah, as I said, Tamiyo just completely decided this game on the fact that she exists. Okay, nice. I'm not going to change anything. Yeah, hand's pretty good. I'm going to keep... Don't have a fast kill, but I do have Berserk, so any pump spell is immediately lethal. I like that Spell Pierce hang around, so I'm just, yeah, I'm going to chill. I'm going to keep. It's fine. Force, perfect. Just play this one and pass. And the turn Hedge Maze. They left the card on top of the sewers and draw it. Sure. They do nothing, so I'm going to do the same as well. Let's see if we leave the card on top. We do, because that's the other part of the puzzle. I'm not going to brainstorm, of course. I want to play around Bowmasters. So let's play this fetch. And if they fetch, then I will brainstorm to play around the Bowmasters. Ah, yes, Bowmasters. We know what that brings. Brainstorm. I can Spell Pierce this. I don't hate that. Too juicy not to do this. Veil of Summer. That is a good pickup. Yeah, I'm gonna chill here. But I like Veil of Summer. Because now in the end step, I will brainstorm, and if they do have Bowmasters, I can Veil of Summer. Stock up. In response, I'm going to brainstorm, see if we can dig up a daze here. That would be excellent. We do not, so that's pretty bad. I mean, I'm going to let it resolve for sure. Let's put these two back. So now is my window to play a threat and win the game the turn afterwards. So, not the best brainstorm. Quite an understatement there. It was kind of awful. Let's get a Forester. There we go. Boom. That's the one I was looking for. Now I can play around Days, have Force and Veil of Summer backup. So that's what I was hoping that we'll be finding. Thoughtseize. Let's cash in this Veil of Summer. They Force. I will Force back. They Fatal Push. Do I want to brainstorm? I don't think so. I'm not unhappy about this exchange. I did end up drawing a card with the Veil of Summer. And I will be able to... Okay. That counts as a win con too, so I'm going to play it. And brainstorm. Flip it immediately. If they Fatal Push here, that's still not the end of the world. Fine. Because I'm just looking for... That's the one. Do I want... I think I'm going to put them like this. There we go. And the reason to put them like this is that if they have Bowmasters, I want to be able to Invigorate. So I can protect my creature. And if they do have another Fatal Push, that means I can play the Sylvan Library. Okay, so they do have everything. Do I want to brainstorm? Because I think I just need to brainstorm, otherwise I'm not getting another turn. Yeah, let's brainstorm. Let's dig. Days would be perfect. Nope. No luck for me. Let's put them like this. Put the Tamiyo into the battlefield and probably lose. They have omniscience too. No, that was too much for my opponent. Let's see what they reveal. They have Emrakul, so good game. Nice. Well, Titan Instant Games. But I think the first brainstorm I had where I just drew a couple of blanks was definitely deciding. But we just might as easily just we would have won this. So that's always the most important thing after playing the game. I say this a lot when I'm recording, but you can play perfect and still lose. That happens. And I think this was one of those cases. So True Futurism is one of those players who always plays Cloud Post. Sorry. Which means we have a good matchup against them. You usually win unless they have Chalice. So we'll see if they have it. If they do, sucks to be me, but not much I can do about it. I'm not going to mulligan away this hand. And of course, being on the draw here, very impactful. But we'll see. So these decks do play Wastelands now these days, usually 2. So I don't want to get completely annihilated by Wasteland, but I do have this Ponder. I am just going to get a Forest, you know. I don't want to get completely punished here. So let's just play this. You can gain life, my friend. Let's just draw land and win. That's a daze. That's awkward. Because that actually does work. Okay, let's just slam in here. I will just fire off this Invigorate straight away, because why not? And now they have One Ring. That sucks. But I still stand behind my decision to get a Forest here. Looks like we called it. Now, the One Ring is still not the end of the world. Imagine if we had drawn a land, he would just win immediately. Okay, Kozilek's command. Nothing I could have done about it. Now, this Ponder is live. We're just going to find another threat. Yes, we do. Let's Ponder first. Inkmoth Nexus is much better. That's the one I was actually hoping for. Let's play him like this. Say no. Play the Nexus. Do I want to play Elf as well? I think I'd rather have more mana, so I'm just going to play this Noble here and pass. They did find Wasteland too. Good draws for my opponent. Okay, let's play Brainstorm first. Let's put the Nobles back. I just want to have threats. I'm going to play Elf and Tamiyo. There we go. And pass. Caracas to bounce the Tamiyo. That's good for them. Let's see what the follow-up is. It's like nothing. That means it's go time. So I'm going to slam in here. Fire off Invigorate because it's free. See if they have another removal spell left. Chances of that are low, but you never know. Nice. So this is the reason why we are playing these consigns. We definitely want that. I do like Spell Pierce. And as I said, you usually win unless they have Chalice. Now, a lot of these decks are starting to cut Chalice, but a lot of them are not. So you just need to... You just always need to assume that they have it. On the draw, Daze is not that great. They will always have mana, so I'm just going to trim some number of those. Legolas' Quick Reflexes is fine, but nothing more. They play removal spells, but not that much. So I'm never going to bring in these two. And on the draw, I'm going to cut one Tamiyo, because it's not that great. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. I'm going to keep that one. This is funny because this is already an interesting choice. I really want to play out this Noble. Like, what can I be afraid of? I have Force of Vigor for the Berserk, so is there anything that they can play that really destroys me here? Trinisphere, but that means I can actually just pay for my stuff. Kill the Noble is fine. I'm just going to play it. They do decide to kill the Noble. That's A-okay by me, especially since I have Berserk already. So next time I'm going to Ponder. Blooded Agent, that changes things. I think I'm actually just going to expose the Blooded Agent. I am afraid of the One Ring, though. I want to see if they have that. So yeah, let's just play differently. I'm going to play like this. Play the Ponder. I'm going to draw Embiggen. Then I want to have Ponder if I do not have to shuffle. There we go. That's nice. Yeah. So next turn I can play Agents with Nexus and have Consign to Memory up. I do have Lethal, so it's possible that they do not do anything. What does that do? So end is tapped, can't play life to cast spells. I don't need to because I don't have Invigorate. Exile, destroy each non-land, so it doesn't work on Nexus. Perfect. This doesn't do anything. Nice. So do I want to draw that Ponder? Or I could also just hedge Maze, but I think Ponder is better in case anything does go wrong. Yeah, that's probably better. Let's play him like this and pass. Trinisphere. So I can just chill, and next turn I can actually Force a Vigor, paying for all of this. Killing the Trinisphere and the Khan Silex, and I'm going to draw the Embiggen. That means I still have Lethal left. That does mean that Consign to Memory is not live. I should probably just... Alright. With Khan Silex, I actually can't tap the Verdant Catacombs, right? Because I can't pay life. So Verdant Catacombs doesn't work. So that was just resolve, sure. The One Ring 2. I think that means it's game. On the play, I am going to bring in some number of daisies. I'm going to take out some number of Tamiyos. You saw that wasn't really... In this matchup, it's not what you want. You want to win as fast as possible, so I'm going to bring those out. Do I want to keep this Legolas, as I could see myself trimming one? Or maybe one Inkmoth Nexus? Maybe one Force, but that Force was too good in this matchup to get rid of. Again, I just want to win as soon as possible, so I think it's probably going to be on the play. Another Legolas. Keep one. Yeah, I like this. Sounds good. I'm going to keep. And since I have 2 lands, I will definitely start out with Tropical Island because I just want my opponent to fire off Wasteland if they have it. And I will fire off these pump spells immediately. But Ponder first, see if we can't find a Berserk and just kill them immediately. Looks like they have Chalice. See, and that's what I mean. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to Invigorate. Because that means that won't work. Let's draw Berserk here. Nope. Brainstorm. Well, we did find Berserk. Too late. Think I'm going to put back Elf Fetch. Or maybe Nexus and Fetch. Don't have too many threats. Yeah, let's do that. Get another Trop. Play the Elf. Slam in here. See what the follow-up is. 3 mana. Trinisphere, yes indeed. Okay, good hands for my opponents, but if we just draw land, we're good. Nope, unlucky for us. I was not willing to keep a land in here based on the possibility that they had the Trinisphere. I think that's just a bit too much sure. If they have it, they have it. Looking back on it, I don't know, maybe I should have, but what should I have gotten rid of instead? Cossacks Command, yep, that's a good one. I'm going to concede. Unlucky here, not much to be said else. Alright, let's see if luck turns this time. Let's keep. That's pretty good. Do I want to go for Tamiyo flip or do I want to play the Glistener Elf? I think I'd rather play the Glistener Elf here. We could get wrecked if we have Wasteland, but that's something that, you know, it happens. Let's just play the Glistener Elf. Looks like my opponent's going to force. Since I have Inkmoth Nexus, I'm okay with this. I'm going to let that one happen. They pitch Daze too, so please no Wasteland. Thundering Falls, sure. Steel Cutter, okay. Against Delver, I think Inkmoth Nexus, and I actually think I'm going to go for Tamiyo here. If they had Wasteland, they would have used it. Let's play that. And I'm kind of hoping that they bolt Tamiyo, because that means I can cash in this Invigorate. That would be really nice. Ponder, sure. They find a Wasteland, sure. As expected, they take the Nexus, as they should. Land, please. Nope. Let's play this Noble. Slam in. Again, I need to play this Noble because if I don't, we may be in a huge world of trouble, and I need to fight over this. I'm gonna pitch Force, get rid of that. Because Tamiyo will find me the cards that I need, and I just need mana. I can't not do anything here, because I can also start drawing cards now. So I'm okay here. Really want to see him fire off a bolt on Tamiyo. Yes, indeed. Let's save it with Invigorate. Do they have Daze number 3 is the question. They force. You can see how important that is. And now we still have Glistener Elf left. So let's... I think I'm going to play Glistener Elf first and then Brainstorm. They clearly don't have Daze. They would have used that. Okay, not bad. Bunch of threats. Said this a couple of times before, but you can see that the game has really entirely been about Tamiyo here, even though I'm still now just playing my Infect threats. So it's done its job. It really has. Thundering Falls, sure. We put Delve into the graveyard. Bauble. Opponent's on 1 card now. So they knew about the agents. I'm just going to play it down immediately and slam it with Glistener Elf. Pass through the turn. They brainstorm. They are clearly digging for removal spells. I mean, the fact that they removed Delver from the top of the deck says it all. And Ponder. Yep. They are digging. They shuffle Wasteland. Get rid of Nexus, I guess. Indeed. So let's draw immediately. See if we can't find a pump spell here. And I'm going to fire it off. No, just a land. That really does suck. Not the best draws here. Let's just slam in. They just draw and pass. Okay, I'm going to fetch Hedge Maze. See what's on top. Daze. I will leave it on top. Especially since the way this game is going seems to me like they have counter magic in hand. Kind of hoping they use Brazen Borrower here. Yes, they do. Excellent. This is why I kept the Daze. So let's just say no thank you very much. Very risky for my opponent to actually do this before combat. But so be it. It's not like they're in a position where they can wait. So let's Hedge Maze. See what's on top. Pump spell, please. Tamiyo. I'm going to keep that one. If anything does go wrong, always nice to have. Murktide it is. But I'm going to win. Or I can win that race because I still have my Blighted Agent. Yeah. Makes sense not playing it here, because if I do have a pump spell, that's go time, right? So they were a bit afraid, as they should be. And I'm attacking with this Glistener Elf because if they do want to remove one of my creatures, I'd rather have them kill Glistener Elf. See, that's what I mean. This is what I was aiming towards. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to play the Tamiyo, because that means that next turn, if they do play the Murktide, I now have Agent left. Now we'll see Murktide, probably. Let's see, we've seen 2 bolts. Okay. There we have the Murktide. I'm going to play that Noble. I will slam in, play the land, because why not? I need mana now with these clue tokens. And I'm just going to slam in with Agent. If my opponent had another bolt, he would have used it already. Turn fetch, let's see. Did you find a removal spell, my friend, or a cantrip? If not, we win. And it's funny that against blue-black and against blue-red, it doesn't feel like we are, like, this is the reason why I've made this list, right? Because the top 2 deck of the format right now are blue-red and blue-black Delver. And currently, looks like our list is working against those 2, so that's, well, it's the reason why I've built it, so working out well. Endurance, Legolas, that's pretty much it. I don't want to have Force, and I don't like these Berserk. I could see myself cutting out a Berserk for a Veil of Summer, but I think I'm okay with this. You could bring in Spell Pierce, but I'm currently trying out this one Berserk. Is not bad. If this does end up as the decision points, I'm very happy, because as I said, we just as easily could have won against Omnitel. That was just a toss of the coin, and those are the top 3 decks in the format right now. So yeah, happy with the list, and give it a shot, man. Infect is really good right now. I don't know if I would recommend this Tamiyo build already. I'm still trying stuff out, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there for sure. So with this hand, I think I just want to play into a day. So I'm going to start out with Glistener Elf, where I want them to use their Wastelands. Normally it's good on the draw to play Noble if you have it, but the way this game is turning out, I'd rather fight with Glistener Elf. And drawing Tamiyo here is really good. I just want my opponent to use the spells on the stuff that I care about the least. So, okay, that's the Wasteland, then we see the Bolt. Perfect. That's what I was playing into. Okay, so they do not have Bolt. That means I will follow this up with a Noble. That means they can't block. Well, they can block if they do, even better. Usually people don't. They don't play around double Invigorate. I've won a lot where this happens. I actually have the double Invigorate, and still people don't play around it. Do I want to cash in this Daze here? I think I do. Looks like they're digging for lands, especially since I have another Daze. I'm just going to fight over this. They could be in a bit of trouble. Or if they're like Daze back, perfect. I'll take it. And they do play a land. Okay, so walking into a Daze, that's fine. And now we see the Bolt on the Elf. Perfect. Again, that's what I was playing towards. And now I think I'm going to... do I want to play Tamiyo or Blighted Agent? Yeah, okay, that makes it easy. Now I'm definitely going to play the Agents. Daze, always let the trigger go first. Let's cash in my own Daze here. They left the card on top, so my guess is that it's a removal spell. There we go. I'm going to follow that up with my own Agent. You can see why this build is so good against them, right? You play 4 more threats that they also need to kill and respect, so that makes it very powerful. Let's play it. And after sideboarding, I even bring in Endurances, so like, it's just so good. It's like 7 more threats that all end the game on their own against Delver, so it's really nice. Not the best draws here. A couple of lands. Not terribly exciting. Let's see if they found removal spell number 4. Wasteland is worthless. Looks like they did. But we still have Tamiyo. Yep, there we have the bolts. They put one on top, so probably another removal spell. It's still Delver, right? If they have everything, there's not much you can do about it. But we're still not out of the game yet. We are pretty close to stabilizing. Like, I mean, any good draw here, like, for example, Endurance, would just immediately shift this game around. Let's start by playing Tamiyo, and then I will just fire off this Noble. If they daze it, it's okay. I want to have mana. Okay, let's just yield through the turn. One card. Murktide, for sure. Slam in, not gonna fight over that. No Murktide. Okay, Berserk's not bad. Let's slam in here. Gonna draw immediately. Although then again, maybe Berserk is bad. I was thinking about Berserking to Darcy, but I can't do that right now. Well, I can, but it sucks. We played a fetch and we draw. Legolas would be perfect. Now they're going to Brazen Borrower, sure. Doesn't really change anything for me. Well, okay, that buys us time. So now, how do we approach this? Reason why I really love having the Legolas is that what we can do is, depending on how, if it was like a pump spell, right? What we could have done is, imagine if we had Invigorate and Legolas. That's perfect, because that means we can pump, block one of them, and then Legolas kill the other one. But now, unfortunately, that's not a possibility to do that. Is there any way how I can tap this Tamiyo, though? No. So I could Berserk to 4, and then you can't do this after combat, so that's not an option. So I think it's just going to be pass. Now, we can block with Legolas, so that is something. Do I want to block with Tamiyo? Don't think so, right? Let's just block with the Noble. Block. Okay. Yield to the turn. Let's see if they have Bolt. Looks like they do not. Let's fetch. Hedge Maze. Another one. Nope. That is not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for, though? Endurance. Endurance. It's not endurance. Let's play the land, slam in here. Crack the clue immediately. And concede. That's unfortunate. 20 cards drawn, 0 pump spells found. Yeah, what can I say? It happens. Hand is great. If only there was mana. I'm going to keep, even though the hand is medium. But I'm not going to mulligan to 5, because then I'm just dead. Let's fetch and play Glistener Elf. Definitely fetching up a tropical island here. Kind of hoping they force. Yes, and now I'm really hoping that they wasteland me. That would actually be ideal. This is so aggressive, because if I have days here, that's so backbreaking for them. You don't see that play a whole lot. Paid off now, but it's... well, I wouldn't recommend it. I guess I just play double Noble. Maybe one because I want a Hedge Maze. I want to find Endurance. Yep, let's just play like this. Pass. Guess this means that they do not have a lot of removal spells. If they do, then I definitely wouldn't have forced. They put the card on top, sure. Let's just shield through the turn. See what's up. Looks like Cutter. Yes, indeed. We can still raise that with Blighted Agent. That's okay. Okay, I shuffled you away. What are you doing here? So let's draw. Again, quite horrendous draws. Okay, that's a good one. I'm gonna play it. Now they know about the Invigorate. Want to know. I'm not gonna play this Noble because I want to play around potentially double days. You never know. And I also don't want them to have complete information about my hand. Because with this Noble, I have a 2-turn clock. So, only thing I'm afraid of is Pyroblast. Should have kept my mouth shut, I guess. Let's yield. And again, Endurance here. That is the best pickup. Well, we got what we ordered. I'm just going to play it now. Don't think there's any reason to wait. Force Negation doesn't hit this. I don't want them to potentially, if I do it in the upkeep, brainstorm to find Force. So I'm going to Endurance now. Let's see if they have Force. Okay, so they do have days. Now we can pay for that. So let's see if they have double days. They do indeed. So what do I want to do now? Do I want to play Noble? I guess I do. It is a blocker. So this is, so what they should have done is not let me pay for one of them, because now I can just say no. So we'll take that. And I'm gonna play this Noble here. Pass through the turn. Brainstorm as well. Okay. Well, they're just drawing hot, man. Not much I can do about this. If Delver draws hot, it will always be challenging. Let's see what we can do. We can draw another Endurance. We are playing 3, so that would be nice. But I think it's already too late. How can we navigate through this? I guess Inkmoth Nexus and not drawing as many lands. But I think we're just going to be dead because they also find a Bauble. Are we just dead right now? I can block one of these prowess creatures. but then I just died the next turn. Nah, this game is over. That was too much. Not much I can do about that. Let's see what we would have drawn. Looking back on this, yeah, I'm really happy with this build. Now, it is still in, as I'm sure you've seen, looks like Magic Online is not going to let me draw the cards. It is still under construction. I still need to try some stuff out with this build and maybe do some changes. What have I really missed? Not like I didn't really miss Ponder all that much. I really just, if you can play Tamiyo turn 1, she's so powerful. It is really, really good. Maybe I want some more Legolas. I could see myself trying out a build where I have more Legolas, because I'm now only having playing 2. So maybe I should go up to 3, cut 1 more Ponder. I don't hate that. Apart from that, not much I would change. Maybe I can cut 1 Embiggen for another Legolas. That's a possibility. But I like having the combination of being able to minus and then just getting one of these pump spells. Like in the second game, where what was the third one, where we played against the White Weenie deck. I called it White Weenie, but you know what I'm talking about. If you would have actually brought back the Invigorate, we could have won from there, and then just told that they don't have swords, and we survived the barrage. All in all, very tight games, and I think we would have been able to maybe squeeze out a 3-2, 4-1 in here, if depending on our draws, they were lining up a bit better. I could even see myself, I don't know, maybe going for 4 Ponder and cutting all the Legolases. We need to try stuff out because it's very new, and I'm every league that I play, I'm still trying out new stuff. Also, not sure about the sideboard. If you are playing Tamiyos, maybe we should be playing Swords to Plowshares again in the sideboard. That is an option. But again, let me know what you think. Did you enjoy this build? My next video will probably be Band Control, because I actually I got a 5-0 with my recent Band Control build. So every 5-0, if I had a replay, I could show you, but unfortunately I do not. But that's something that I'm also interested in. I think that's very powerful, because I already liked it before the bans, and now we didn't lose anything, so that's something that I'm looking towards. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, don't forget to click that subscribe button on my channel, and I hope to see you soon for the next video. Bye.